I'm Neer. Okay, so no intros, all right. Let's get straight to the topic because it's a very important topic, especially for me. As per my perspective, I feel this is supposed to be a very important topic, all right. In today's topic, as you have already seen the title, I hope you got a little bit idea what we're going to talk about. So I've divided this video into three parts. Well, basically three chapters, I'll say. So no intros, nothing. I'll straight directly to the chapter 1. All right. Bye. Chapter 1, who should watch this? So I'll give you the same reasons, and if you fall under those reasons, then you should watch this. Else, and if you do not, then please continue doing your own work, okay, rather than watching this video and using this video as a coping mechanism. Okay, please don't do that. So let's start off with the reasons who should watch it. So first reason, if you love planning but not executing them, then you should probably watch this video. This video is for you, all right. Second point, if you put all your energy into planning and when it is the time to execute them, you're left with burnout, you're left with procrastination, or you're just left feeling so drained. So like when you have to actually take action, you just cannot do it, okay. Then if you fall under this reason, then you should watch this video. Third reason is if you're using planning as your hideaway, you're using planning, doing the planning as your just coping mechanism, all right, then you're kind of on a wrong track. So you should watch this video, okay. Or if you just want to watch because you're doing it in your break or something, then only you should watch this video. Now you got issues with planning, and now you also know like somewhere it is hindering your growth, it's hindering your work, the actual work you are supposed to do, honey. So now let's head to the chapter 2 of the video. Welcome to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is all about acceptance and knowing on psychological level. I'll make you understand why you're doing this and why it's happening, all right. Okay, so one of the main big reason is setting unrealistic goals. I completely get it. You have high standards, you have high expectations with yourself, but keep the bar down when you're setting your goals, okay. I'm not telling you to do not dream big, but when you're planning a task for a day, when you have to do something, so keep it the way you can actually do it. Keep it very realistic, all right. Keep the bar very minimum at that time. It's very simple. Stop putting unrealistic goals. Stop making unrealistic goals for planning out. Dream big, but make goals achievable, all right. Second reason, when you're planning, you're already getting that dopamine hit which you're supposed to get from the actual work, all right. But now you're getting it from the planning because you're maybe visualizing it, maybe you're doing it, so it's like your brain is like, okay, so your brain is feeling like you've already achieved it. So when you're actually doing the work, it feels like you're not excited anymore, you're just drained. It's like you're lazy for it then, because your brain thinks you have actually done it already. So one of the reasons is that too. So that is how planning can actually stop you. Third reason, you're planning to avoid the work. You're planning as a coping mechanism, or maybe currently you're watching this video as a coping mechanism, to get away from the actual work. You're doing procrastination, or you're just using planning. So again, you're watching this video like in that way only. So, but it's not making it's not progressing you with the actual work you're supposed to do. Now, this takes us to the last part, the last segment, and the last chapter. And I'll give you some realistic, rational, and practical advice and solutions. Okay. So, stop planning and start executing it. Okay. Try to keep the task into the mind rather than writing it onto the piece of paper. So when you're keeping it into mind, so at least you're like, your mind is not getting that dopamine hit first of all. And the second thing is like, actually you cannot see that like 5 tasks to do. No, when it's in mind, you're like, okay, I have some tasks to do, it's email, let's just get it done. Okay, so when you're planning things out, don't fall for this trap that I'm doing 10 things at a time, or I'm gonna do 5 things at a time. Do not do that. Sometimes if you do it, that's okay, but if you're someone who do not do like 10 tasks in a day or something, don't, okay, just simply don't. If planning still works for you, try keeping the goals very grounded, very realistic, all right. which, okay, so the goals which is easily achievable, the goals which is easily achievable. Try one thing. So which I used to do was, I'll just write down 3 tasks for a day, and I'll keep one task as my main task and 2 binary tasks, which is the most important task. So it's like, it's better to improve just by 1% or 0.5% rather than trying to improve by 50% in a day, and like next day, and you're just not doing that thing forever like that. So when you're planning out, if you love planning, then keep this in mind, and if you're not a planner, start executing them rather than planning it out. And just last thing, for your work especially, if you're avoiding your work, if you're avoiding it, so just ask yourself, why are you doing this, and what are you afraid of? Ask this specific question, that what are you afraid of, why you're not doing the work. Trust me, we plan out, we do this, we do that, we have so many reasons not to do, but understand why you're not doing it. The psychological reason, what is that fear? What are you actually afraid of? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of judgment? Are you afraid that maybe it will not be good enough, or just whatever it is? Okay, do some journaling, just see. Okay, it will work out for sure. It will, your work will be done, you have enough time. Okay, you learned, you got practical solution, and if there's anything, any query, or if it even helped you a little bit, let me know. Or whatever it is, if you want any solutions for any issues regarding anything, if that is my expertise, or if I have any prior experience, any knowledge for it, let me know. Feel free to ask. Okay, have the audacity to ask. Okay, especially this message is for girls, that have the audacity to ask. Okay, it's just a thought which I want to share before ending this video. And the thought is like, I can teach you how to swim when you're already drowning. Okay, so save yourself, please. Bye.